Hello, I'm Kamil and this is Random Games Generator where we make games. And today I will talk about playtesting. So, what playtesting is? It's basically getting feedback about your game from someone. And what it's not is game testing, which is finding bugs and reporting them. So, we are going to talk about playtesting, not game testing, just to be clear. And why should you do playtesting like this early on into production as I do? Well, let's say that as designers and game creators, we look at games through somewhat different lens, and we know how to play our games. And someone who sees it for a very first time can get lost in our level design, in our mechanics. Something can be not clear enough, some can be, dumb. And playtesting is all about finding all those things and getting rid of them really early on. So how to go about that? Well, you can take your friend, sit him in front of your game and let him play and get feedback from it. And now, few really quick tips on how to do that. Do not defend your game while doing that. If your friend says something sucks, you go, yeah, it might be. Yeah, it's really cool feedback. I did not think about it. Always, do not defend yourself. You can do that later, you can think of it later, after the playtest is done. Note those feedbacks, because you will forget them, for sure. Include only gamers, and gamers who won't fear that they will hurt your feelings by saying that something in your game sucks. So don't get your grandma to play your game in playtesting round, please. Remember that you gather that feedback to interpret it, not to, implement it as it is. Because if someone tells you that controls suck, it may not be about that, but about the lack of tutorial or something like that. If you want to ask more people to playtest your game, you can always use things like Google Forms, I guess it's called like that. Write your questions and send that to them with build, so they can play it remotely, for example, and send you those answers back. And you can ask questions about what you liked, what you did not like, what was the most frustrating thing. You can also ask about scoring your game on a scale from 1 to 10 to see how people reacted to previous playtests in comparison to the current one. For example, if the score is higher and higher, then you are going the right way. But if it stays the same or gets lower, well, maybe you should do something else. And the most important thing, I guess, is, ask those questions that you want to ask or you need to ask. If you know that controls can be problematic, just ask about them specific questions so the playtest could answer those questions. Because at the end, the playtest should serve you and it shouldn't be forced. If you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. Do it at some point of development, because that's really important to get that big feedback before you publish your game. Shit hits the fan. And I guess good luck. Oh, and in the background you can see my prep phase for playtesting, making those menus. You can also see at the moment that I have implemented score screen with checkpoint times to let me know how fast people were crossing through that level, and that I removed some boxes because that was messing with clarity of my level, and some parts of gameplay were simply too hard. People found it so hard that they stopped playing it. So I got rid of those, and some of that feedback will be implemented probably in upcoming videos. Stuff like, I don't know, level design feedback, controls feedback, controls clarity feedback, camera movement, and so on and so on. I've got quite a list, I must say. Yeah, so if you want to see that, just, hit a subscribe button, like if you liked, and see you later.